This will be the first one. Um, I usually use the 3-bet shove with around 15 to 22, 23 big blinds. Depending on the hand, depending on the person, depending on the table or the tournament, the aggression level. As you can see, I have 56,000 in the big blinds, 1,200. So that's certainly more than 20 big blinds. But the person I'm 3-bet shoving here, who is JD Smith 9, has just under 20 big blinds. So I'm effectively only shoving the 19 point whatever big blinds that it is. So don't think that you're over shoving when you're shoving in 50 big blinds or 45 big blinds or whatever the case may be. It's depending on what he has, obviously. So anyways, let me go ahead and show you this hand. Before the hand started, I had made up my mind, and this is something you guys should do as well, is if you know somebody's going to do something, I knew he was going to mini-raise the button, because he's been mini-raising the button just about every orbit. If it gets to him unopened in the button or the cutoff, he was raising every single time. He is an MTT regular, so I do know his game pretty well, and I know that he likes to take his raise spots and whatnot. It's a little scary because he is under 20 big blinds, but I'm pretty confident that he's opening light on the button, just because it's really in his game. And before the hand was even dealt, it didn't matter what my cards were here. 2-7 offsuit. I guess the only hands I wouldn't have been 3-bet shoving are something like aces or kings or some premium. I would have done my best to get all his chips in the middle instead of trying to push him off his hand. But 6-7 does flop somewhat decently, but it wouldn't have mattered if this was the 2 of clubs and the 7 of hearts. I had decided before the cards were even dealt that if he went and mini-raised his button, if it was unopened to him, I was going to shove. And he does mini-raise his button, and I put my chips in, and he snap-folded. So that was pretty much the dynamics behind that hand. Like I said, if you know somebody's going to do something before they even do it, you could probably pretty much go with that read because you're probably bang on. You're probably not wrong very often there. So that's why I go ahead and do it. Little different situation here. All my hands have a little bit of a different dynamic to it because I didn't want to make the video stale. This one has no antes, as you can see. So when there's no antes, your range has to be a little bit tighter. You have to have a hand that, like, you don't want to be 3-bet shoving just for the sake of 3-bet shoving with 6-7. Because generally, in my mind anyways, with no antes, people are opening a little lighter. So you have to have a hand that's going to show down a little bit better. The person I end up shoving here, I have a history with. It's this person right here, Dare You to Call. He's a regular on Stars. He's pretty good. He is the guy with the Tony Soprano avatar in the pool smoking the cigar. We have a really pretty extensive history. I know he's super aggressive. I don't keep notes on a lot of people, but I do keep a note on this guy. And one of them says that he 5-bet shoved me with 6-3 of diamonds and some other stuff. So he really likes to mix it up with me. He's really aggressive. So he is the raiser, and I just figure he's opening pretty light because of his aggression level. And I go ahead and shove my 20 bigs. And I'll just let that play out for you. He makes it standard 3x, and I just shove my 20 bigs and a fold. You got to remember, like, it's important to remember when you're shoving with no antes. I can't stress this enough. You really have to have a hand with showdown, or you have to really know that he's opening light. And I suspected that there was a pretty light open. I wouldn't have shoved anyone else. More than likely, if the pot comes to me unopened and I have 20 bigs, I'm just going to fold. As nitty as that seems, there's not really... I'm not sure it's super profitable to be shoving 20 bigs when there's only 300 chips in the middle and there's nothing really to be gained. So I probably just would have folded because I wouldn't have wanted to raise the flop and then fold, or have to c-bet and fold, or anything like that. So I would have probably just folded. But with his open, it looked like a pretty good spot to me, so I went and took it and it worked. One thing I will mention here on this vid is all the 3-bet shoves that you're going to see, they all work. Obviously, it isn't that simple. They're not always going to work. But I wanted to show you a vid with different dynamics and the reasons I do it. But keep in mind that they're obviously, I mean, I'm sure you can figure that out. They're not always going to work, but there are some good spots to be had if you can pick them up.